Act 3, Crimson Siege. Chapter 16. Borrowed Might. I come to slowly, the familiar scent of herbs and smoke filling my nostrils. Melnin's hut. Once a fucking again. I open my eyes to find Melnin hovering over me, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Impossible," she mutters, her fingers probing my side where my wound should be. "It was there this morning. I bandaged it myself." I lift my head, wincing at the effort, to see what she's talking about. Where there should be a fresh, angry wound, there's only a faint scar, as if it had healed months ago. "What in the void?" I start, but I'm interrupted by Tornu's entrance. "Yorin," he breathes, relief evident in his voice. "You're awake. What happened out there?" Before I can respond, Kyra pushes past Tornu, her eyes wide with a mix of relief and concern. "Yorin, you're okay." I open my mouth to explain, but where do I even start? The serpent? The Dracolith? The impossible strength? Tornu's eyes narrow as he takes in my confusion. "It was like in the forest, wasn't it? When we faced the Dracolith together." I nod slowly, the memories flooding back. There was a voice, and then... "Strength beyond imagining," Tornu finishes for me. He exchanges a loaded glance with Melnin. "It's just like the old tales. Weka's intervention." Melnin shakes her head, skeptical. "Those are just stories, Tornu. Meant to inspire, not to be taken literally." "Are they?" Tornu challenges. "How else do you explain this?" He gestures to my healed wound. Kyra, who's been silent until now, speaks up. "Whatever it was, it saved Yorin's life. Doesn't that matter more than where it came from?" Their argument washes over me as I try to piece together what happened. The voice, the strength, the Dracolith. It all seems so surreal now. Tornu's eyes meet mine, a mixture of pride and concern in his gaze. "Yorin," he says softly, "what you've done, it's remarkable, but it's also..." He trails off, seeming to search for the right words. "Impossible?" I offer, a weak attempt at humor. He shakes his head, a wry smile tugging at his lips. "It is reminiscent of the legends of Weka intervening in our world." His expression grows serious again. "And throughout all the legends, where Weka's power manifests on Alara, well, Vortul has never been known to be far behind." The weight of his words settles on me, like a bearskin cloak in the winter. Kyra grabs my hand, squeezing it tightly. "We'll figure this out together," she whispers. "Whatever it is." Before I can respond, Tornu and Melnin shuffle out, still debating in hushed tones. Kyra remains, her eyes never leaving my face. "How do you feel?" she asks softly. I don't know," I admit. "Normal, I guess, but also not." Kyra nods, her expression thoughtful. "We need to understand what's happening to you. But Yorin, promise me you won't do anything reckless." I feel a pang of guilt thinking of my plans with Zolesh. "I'll be careful," I say, avoiding a direct promise. Kyra's eyes narrow slightly, as if sensing my evasion. "I mean it, Yorin. We're in this together, remember? Whatever's going on, we face it as a team." Her words make my decision even harder. I want to tell her everything, but I also want to protect her. And a part of me, a part I'm not entirely proud of, wants to face this alone, to prove myself. "I remember," I say finally. "Look, I need some air. Can you give me a moment?" Kyra hesitates, then nods. "Okay, but I'll be right outside if you need me." As she leaves, I sit up, flexing my muscles experimentally. I feel normal. Tired and sore, yes, but not supernaturally strong. Frowning, I try to lift the heavy wooden chest next to the bed. It's just as difficult as it always has been. What in the void is going on? Was it all just a hallucination? Some effect of Melnin's elixirs, perhaps? But no, that doesn't explain the Dracolith, the healed wound. As I ponder this, my mind drifts to the dangers lurking beyond our borders, the threats Zolesh and I had planned to investigate. If there's even a chance that what happened at the lake could happen again, I need to be out there. I need to understand it. Decision made, I push myself to my feet. My body protests, but I ignore it. I need to find Zolesh. We need to leave, now, before anyone can stop us. As I slip out of Melnin's hut, my mind races with possibilities. Whatever's happening to me, whatever power I've tapped into, I have a feeling it's just the beginning, and I intend to find out exactly what it means, no matter the cost. I catch sight of Kyra waiting nearby, her face a mix of worry and determination. For a moment, I consider telling her everything, but the memory of the Dracolith, of the otherworldly power coursing through me, stops me. This is my burden to bear, my mystery to solve, at least for now. With a silent apology to Kyra, I slip into the shadows, my heart heavy but my resolve firm. Whatever lies ahead, I'll face it on my own terms. And my terms don't allow for me to put Kyra's life at risk out there. The village is a flurry of activity as I search for Zolesh. Tribe members rush past, some still discussing my feat at the lake, others focused on processing the unexpected bounty of fish. As I walk, I start catching snippets of conversation, my name popping up more often than I'm comfortable with. "There goes Yorin the Large," I hear someone say, followed by a poorly stifled laughter. I feel my cheeks burn, knowing full well the irony isn't lost on anyone. I'm about as large as a twig in a forest of oaks, hence Lolly's nickname for me. But then I overhear an elder speaking in hushed, reverent tones. "5 boulder nets! Can you believe it? Even Gogger the Large only managed 3, and that was generations ago." The pride in their voice makes me stand a little straighter, despite the ache in my muscles. It's a strange feeling, this mix of jest and genuine awe. Part of me wants to shrink away from the attention, but another part, a part that's growing stronger by the day, feels a thrill at the recognition. Yorin the Large. You know, I actually don't mind it. Despite the irony, it's still better than Twig. I weave through the crowd, my eyes scanning for Zolesh's distinctive tattoos. Where could he be? We need to leave soon if we're going to make it to the border before anyone notices we're gone. The weight of our secret plan sits heavy in my chest, mixing with the confusion over what happened at the lake. "Yorin!" I turn at the sound of my name, spoken in that thick Sunatak accent. Zolesh's voice. Finally. But as I spin to face him, my relief turns to shock. A massive log is hurtling through the air, directly at me. There's no time to dodge. I brace for impact, my mind flashing back to the supernatural strength I wielded against the Dracolith. The log slams into me with brutal force, knocking me flat on my back. All the air rushes from my lungs as the heavy wood pins me to the ground. Stars dance in my vision as I gasp for breath. Zolesh's face appears above me, his expression a mix of surprise and concern. "Yorin, why you not catch?" I wheeze, trying to form words. "Can't breathe." As Zolesh quickly helps roll the log off me, Kyra's face flashes in my mind. The trust in her eyes, the worry etched on her features. Shit. The guilt hits me harder than the log, making it even more difficult to catch my breath. I should tell her. She deserves to know what we're planning. I double over, hands on my knees, sucking in great gulps of air. The physical pain mixes with the emotional turmoil, creating a knot in my chest that threatens to choke me. "What happened to your strength?" Zolesh asks, genuine confusion in his voice. When I can finally speak, I straighten up, wincing at the new bruises forming. I don't know. It faded after I dragged the Dracolith to shore. I haven't felt any difference since I woke up. Zolesh's brow furrows. "But how you kill Dracolith? How you carry it and bold us?" I shake my head, frustration bubbling up. I don't know. There was this voice, and then I just could. That's what I was talking about before. Those strange occurrences. Tornu said he thinks it might have been Weka intervening, but as I explain, the image of Kyra waiting outside Melnin's hut haunts me. We promised to face everything together, and here I am, about to run off with Zolesh, leaving her behind. The guilt gnaws at me, threatening to overwhelm the excitement of our impending journey. Zolesh goes still, his eyes widening. "Weka? I been hearing about him. Think it sound like Yoko, the warrior prector. Shaman say him touched the mankin in time of big need." I nod, remembering that the Sunatak have different names for the ancient ones. Yeah, I guess. Tornu said something about where Weka's power manifests on Alara. Vortul has never been far behind. Zolesh is quiet for a long moment, his gaze distant. Then softly he says, "That makes sense. Might not know why might not see it for." I blink, taken aback by his sudden shift in demeanor. What do you mean? Zolesh's eyes meet mine, filled with a mix of awe and excitement. "Yorin, you been touched by the gods. Yoko himself grant you strength. This change everything." I shift uncomfortably under his reverent gaze. I don't know about that. It's gone now, whatever it was. But Zolesh shakes his head, a grin spreading across his face. "Namata, Yoko notice you. That mean you special. Mean you have part to play. We gotta get you out to the Sunatak shamans. As Zolesh launches into rapid-fire speculation about what this could mean, my mind whirls. Part of me wants to believe him, to think that I've been chosen for something greater. But another part, the part still aching from the log impact and heavy with guilt, isn't so sure. I cast a glance back towards the village, half expecting to see Kyra searching for me. The weight of our secret plan sits heavy in my chest, mixing with the confusion over what happened at the lake and the guilt of leaving her behind. One thing's certain, though. Whatever's happening, whatever power I tapped into, I need to understand it. He's right. We need to get to Sunatak and talk to their shamans, even if it means hurting Kyra in the process. Zolesh, I interrupt his excited rambling. We need to go, to your village, now. He stops, studying my face. Then he nods, his expression turning serious. You right. We are go. Find answers. As we slip away from the village, I can't shake the feeling that we're stepping into something much bigger than we'd initially planned. The guilt of leaving Kyra behind threatens to overwhelm me, but I push it down. This is bigger than us, bigger than our promises. Whatever lies ahead, whatever this power means, I'm determined to face it. I just hope that someday, somehow, Kyra will understand why I had to do this, and maybe, just maybe, she'll forgive me.